Welcome to my lesson class. How are you? I'm good too. I am better because I saw you. Okay. Today we will talk about comparatives and superlatives. We use comparatives, compare two things, and we use superlatives to compare one thing in a group. Let's see some pictures so that we understand better the topic. Okay? Okay. We turn adjectives, comparatives, and superlatives. So, small is adjective, smaller comparative, and smallest is superlative. Comparatives take er and superlatives take est. Most of the comparatives and superlatives are the same. They take er or est. But some adjectives take double letter, like hotter or hottest. We put a second T while we write hot, hotter, hottest. High, higher, highest. Heavy, heavier, heaviest. The words end with Y. We use I. So when we turn an adjective to comparative or superlative, we drop the Y and we put I instead of it. So heavier, it spells like it, heavier. In superlative, heaviest, like dry, drier, driest. Or dirty, dirtier, dirtiest. Cheaper and cheapest. Big, bigger, biggest. As you see, we doubled the G because, like hot word, big ends with a consonant. So we doubled it. Also, we have irregular comparatives and superlatives. They change completely. Like in comparatives, good becomes better, and in superlatives, it becomes best. We have to remember these. But don't worry, they are we don't have so much of them. Just 4. Okay? So, good, better, and best. Okay? Bad. In comparatives, worse. In superlative, worst. We have the T in the end of the word. Okay? And I will come back to this. Little become less in comparatives, and it becomes least in superlatives. Like there's a pattern. At least. Do you know what does it mean? Yeah, like the least. And lastly, we have far. We have 2 comparatives and 2 superlatives of far. In comparative, far is farther or further with you, and in superlative we have farthest and furthest. We can use both of them. So far is the most different comparative and superlative. Yeah. Now let's see. A presentation about comparative and superlatives to sum up the topic. So, comparatives and superlatives. In comparatives, we use it to compare 2 things, as I said, but we use also than after the comparative adjective. What is then? In comparatives, then functions as a conjunction that connects the 2 items being compared. So we have to put then. It's a rule. It's a conjunction that connects 2 things that being compared. For example, you look more tired than you did last week. This cat is calmer than that cat. Calmer. Regular comparatives, if you want, you can write this part. Let's read it fast. Earlier, later, faster, slower, fatter, fitter, fever, funnier. As you see, we put I instead of a Y. Heavier, lighter, higher, lower, clever, cooler, happier. As you see, we put I. Again, sadder And as you see, we doubled the D because sad ends with an conjunction, ends with a consonant. Yeah. Smaller, bigger, cheaper, cleaner, dirtier, drier, wetter, newer, older or elder, we can say. Elder, elder. We use elder for our family members. Okay? Then comes younger, poorer, richer, prettier, shorter, taller, stronger, weaker, uglier, warmer, hotter, and colder. Also, these are short words, so they take er. But we have long words. We have words that has more than 3 syllables, so they take more in the beginning of the word of their self, like words with ends, like words end with ing and ed, like boring, interesting, and tired. They take more. Let's look at them. More expensive, more beautiful, more boring, more interesting, more difficult, more tired, and more popular. And as I said, irregular comparatives, good becomes better, bad becomes worse, little becomes less, and far becomes further or farther. For example, my house is bigger than my friend's house. They look more relaxed than they were during the meeting. She seems happier than she did last month. John is taller than his brother. This movie is better than the last one we watched. This restaurant is worse than the one we visited last week. The mountain is farther away than I expected. This book is less interesting than the one I read last month. In superlatives, we put the before the superlative adjective. We use the that things are only. For example, the sun, the moon, the earth, like that, and we use to emphasize things like the school, the dress, the house. I am waiting for you in front of the house. Which house? The house. Yeah. Like that. So, as I said, we use it that things are only. For example, the blue whale is the biggest animal in the world. We also use by far to emphasize a superlative degree. So it emphasizes that something is the top. There is no one that better than that person. He is the top. He is the best. It's optional that you can use, or you that you use or you don't use. For example, he is by far the tallest student in the school. Like, by far. I explained it. Regular superlatives, like comparatives, they take est, like earliest, latest, highest, lowest, cleanest, dirtiest, youngest, oldest, or eldest, we can say. We put most in front of the front of the adjective if the adjective is a long word. For example, most expensive, most beautiful, most boring, most interesting, most difficult, most tired, and most popular. The most. So we have to put the. It's the rule. Irregular superlatives are different too. As I said in the beginning, good becomes best, bad becomes worst, little become become least, and far becomes farthest or furthest. As for example, Sarah is the tallest girl in her class. This is by far the most interesting book I've ever read. That was by far the best meal I've had this year. This watch is the most expensive item in the store. This is the best pizza I've ever tasted. That was the worst movie I've ever seen. Pluto is the farthest planet from the sun in our solar system. She is the least experienced member of the team. Like that. Okay, is there something that you didn't understand? No? Okay. Now let's create sentences, okay? I want you to give me comparative and superlative sentences according to the adjective. Okay. You. Cheetah is the fastest animal, right? You. He is faster than me. Okay. Let's continue. Slow. Okay, you say it. She is the slowest person that I've ever known. Yeah, correct. You. This train is slower than that I usually take. Right. That sentence is correct too. Okay, let's see what we have. Beautiful. She is the most beautiful person in her family. Correct. You. This painting is more beautiful than the one in the gallery. Right, correct. Okay, ugly. Yeah? This building is uglier than the old one. Yeah, correct. You? This is the ugliest dress that I ever seen. Yeah, correct. Now, let's use irregular verbs, irregular comparatives and superlatives. Good. You? Her performance was better than the last one. Yeah. Oh, okay. You? This is the best movie that I ever watched. Yeah. Correct. Bad. Yeah. That was the worst meal that I ever tasted. You? The weather is worse than yesterday. Right. Far. This is the farthest way that I've ever traveled. Yes. Correct. You? This town is farther from the airport than the other one. Okay, that's correct too. Good job. And the last one, little. You? That was the least interesting book that I've ever read. Right. Correct. You? She has less time than I do. Right, that is correct too. Okay, I think you're all understood the topic. But I want to ask, do you have any question? No? Okay, then thank you for joining my lesson. I hope I will see you on next lesson. Okay. Goodbye.